I have a dream that one day soon, on the peat hills of Barnacuiga, the sons of the Spalpeen Fonach and the sons of the navvies that built England and America will build a mighty airport soaring to the sky.
An airport?
Aye. And not just an ordinary airport, an international airport.
I told you he was hatching something.
The immortal words of Monsignor James Horan, the Mayo priest who, against all the odds, saw his dream of building an airport in Connacht realised in 1986, as Charlie Haughey officially opened the then Connacht Regional Airport, despite many controversies and political wranglings. 25 years on, Monsignor Horan's dream has become one of the jewels in Connacht's crown, as the airport continues to go from strength to strength. So far this year, passenger numbers are up 10% on 2010, as the number of destinations continues to increase both to and from the UK, as well as some destinations to Spain and Portugal.
Yeah, this year is a good year for it. This year we're looking at 530,000 passengers, 25 routes, about a 5% growth. I think the amazing thing about that is that most airports across Europe, and especially in Ireland, are probably going to record a slight loss in passengers. So it's great to see that in the teeth of recession we're showing a little bit of growth, and we're delighted about that and we're very thankful for that.
The airport recently celebrated its 25th anniversary with a free family fun day, as 5,000 people enjoyed an afternoon on the airport's runway with a spectacular air display, the highlight of the festivities on offer. One of the men instrumental in the airport's success is now its honorary president. Joe Kennedy, himself a Mayo native and a successful businessman based in Manchester, accepted an invitation some years ago to become the airport's chairman. And before handing over the reins to Liam Scallon, he worked tirelessly in promoting the airport.
So many years ago, I used to fly into Dublin and drive down to the west of Ireland, down to Mayo, clogged to the board, and wished that we could have something of our own. And the great man, Monsignor Horan, got it up and going. And as most people know, it wasn't going very well up till a few years back, about 8 years ago since I got involved. And yes, I did want to get involved because Michael McGrath was the manager at the time. And I knew Archbishop Cunyon, I knew Monsignor Greeley, and indeed I knew the great man himself, Monsignor Horan. And I met many times Archbishop Neary at football matches, and I used to say to them all, if ever there's anything I can do for you at Knock Airport, I'd be glad to do it. And one fine day I got a letter from Mr. Duffy, God rest him, and said, would I join the board? And I said, yes, I would. I wrote back and a meeting was held. And that went on for, I wouldn't know, 3 or 4 or 5 months, different meetings. And I made my feelings felt, and one way or another I managed to be shoehorned in to be the chairman at the airport.
One of the only surviving members of the airport's original board, known then as Connacht Regional Airport, is John Dillon. He recalls the early days when times were tough and the airport struggled to survive.
I reminded the first day, the first flight that we left here, the time that we went to Rome. It was something else. We had 400 people here that particular day taken off, and the Monsignor got special permission to take off at that particular time. And I remember wonderful support by the people of the local area, and I saw a situation in Rome where there was 18 buses outside a hotel. So you can imagine the actual wonderful support it got at all that particular time. Coming back after that, the airport was closed again until other facilities were put in place, and then it started in earnest. We had the highs and lows with the Gulf oil crisis, and we weathered that as well. And there's a crisis on at the moment, and I know that'll be weathered as well too.
Today, Ireland West Airport is one of the few thriving airports in the country. Its managing director Joe Gilmore isn't complacent about the challenges ahead, but he's extremely confident that the airport will continue to prosper.
Yes, we are delighted with the way things are going here at the moment. This year promises to be our busiest year, where we'll handle 650,000 passengers. That's going to be a 10% increase on last year, to over 20 international destinations we service. As you'll know, we handle passengers from 10 UK destinations. We cover all the London airports, Bristol, right up into East Midlands, Birmingham, and then Liverpool, Manchester and Leeds. And now our new route this year into Scotland, into Edinburgh. So we're very happy with the way things have progressed. In addition, this year we'll be introducing new services to Germany with Lufthansa. They'll commence next May. They're going to bring in excess of 2,500 tourists. And finally, our sun services are doing very well. We've 6 destinations in Spain, the Canaries and Portugal, and they've all progressed very well.
One of the biggest controversies for the airport during the 25 years in operation was the decision to change the name of the airport to Ireland West. Many people believed that the name Horan International Airport should have been maintained, but Joe Kennedy explained the reason behind the decision to opt for Ireland West.
When we changed the name of the airport from Knock Airport to Ireland West Airport, there was a lot of complaints from the local towns, that was wrong, but there was a very commercial reason for that, because in England, which is our biggest customer base, there's about 65 million people. And hardly anybody over there knew where Knock was. So there was the Irish diaspora that knew where, but the other 60 million, no idea where Knock was. So just to pinpoint it, them Ireland West Airport Knock, and that's why we told the board we wanted to do it, and the board agreed at the time. Of course, it doesn't matter now because, thank God, everybody knows, so we can go back to Knock Airport. But there was a commercial reason for doing it at the time, so I just thought I'd mention that.
There's an air of confidence around Ireland West Airport these days. And one of the airport's trustees, Monsignor Joe Quinn, believes that there's even brighter days ahead.
I believe, like the first 25 years, that this is a wonderful success story. But I believe it's a story that's only beginning. I won't see it in my lifetime, but this, down the road, whoever is alive and well in another 25 years, this is going to be a huge... It's already an international airport, but I believe it'll be a huge international airport. I also know, being a little bit involved from the inside, that there's a wonderful team of people here who work extremely hard for the success of this airport. And I know they're going to do so into the future, and I have no worry at all about it.
Ireland West Airport is definitely thriving, and the hard work put in by so many has more than paid off. It looks like the sound of the jets will be heard around the hills of Barnacuiga, just outside Charlestown, for a long time to come. This is Tommy Marin reporting for Ireland West Music TV.